D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma. What's up, nerds, and welcome to my weekend review, where I come to you every Sunday with 3 entertainment stories that I personally find interesting, and then we discuss them down below. Now, also down below, you can find the articles that I read to bring you this story, and you can, read it and come up with whatever you want, or you can just listen to this video where I break it all down for you in hopefully less than 5 minutes, and and then we just discuss it down below and everything. Before I get started, though, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we always get shoved to the back of the line. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. Now that I've said all that, why don't we go ahead and get started on this? And so for my first story this week, it looks like there's a prequel to It, and it is in development at HBO Max. Now, the series, currently called Welcome to Derry, will begin in the 1960s, in the time leading up to the events of It Part 1. Now, Andy Muschietti is attached to executive produce the series, along with Barbara Muschietti and Jason Fauch. I don't know how to say his last name. If you remember, Andy Muschietti did direct It Chapter 1 and Part 2. Sorry, Part 1 and Part 2. I personally like Part 1 better than Part 2. I just feel like it kind of like missed the mark with Part 2. That book has got a lot of stuff in there, and I think that kind of capturing it on film can be a little hard sometimes, and I did feel like Andy Muschietti missed the mark with some of that. Now, the Muschiettis and Fuchs, I don't know, developed the story for the show, with Fuchs writing the script. And they developed that while they were filming the movie. Now, Andy will also be directing the first episode should the project go to series. Now, like I said before, this is just in development, so that always means that this could possibly not get made. Now, whether Bill Skarsgard is on board for this, I have no idea if he's going to be playing Pennywise, but it will also feature some of the backstory to Pennywise, the creature that is in that. And I've talked about this a little bit with my coverage of the movies and stuff, but I remember the first time I read it. It scared the crap out of me. I remember I got the very first, was it the first chapter? I can't remember. I think it was the first chapter. It scared me so, or maybe it was the second chapter. It scared me so bad. I put it down for like a month. I couldn't read it. I was so scared. I love that book. And I was like in the 5th grade. And my dad, he loves to read. So he would always read books and he likes Stephen King. So he would always read books like that to us. And I remember just the first time I read it, and it was so thick, the way we like it, right? And I just remember reading it. I just got so scared. Now, as far as the prequel to this, it'll be interesting to see where they go with this. To me personally, it didn't feel like the movies played off it as this supernatural element. It felt more like they were trying to play it off as like this, I don't know, because you had the clown guy with the old woman that was like my father, and then they showed him peeling off his makeup kind of thing. I'm just curious as to if they will do, because it is the embodiment of fear, and I'm just curious as to what they'll do there with that, and if they'll capture that, or if they'll try to do this. Like, I know in some, in the TV version of it, I always felt like they kind of played that off as it was an alien, and I'm all like, yes, but no. I just didn't feel like they captured what I always imagined it to be. So it was just really, I don't know, it was interesting to see that, but at the same time, I'm all like, I don't know if they'll do that or not. It would just be interesting to see what they do with that whole situation. So that is my first story of this week. So for my second story of this week, speaking of Bill Skarsgard, who played Pennywise the Clown in the It horror movies, will star in the reboot of the supernatural revenge thriller and will be playing Eric Draven. Um, so they are doing this Crow reboot and everything, and this will be directed by Rupert Sanders. Now, if you don't know who Rupert Sanders is, he did the Snow White and the Huntsman movie. He directed that movie. Famously got caught cheating with Kristen Stewart, who was with Robert Pattinson at the time. Oh, the people that loved those two as a couple in Twilight was freaking out. Sorry. And then he also directed Ghost in the Shell, which wasn't, it got a little bit of hate and everything. I personally love Ghost in the Shell, but not the movie. I don't think he did a bad job. There's certainly elements from the anime. I never read the manga, but from the anime, but that I just don't feel like he captured that. But whatever. He's just trying to do his thing. Now, The Crow is an indie comic written and drawn by James O'Barr in the late 1980s that told the dark tale of a man and his fiancee who are assaulted and killed by a gang after the couple's car breaks down. The man is resurrected by a crow and exacts revenge on those who took his life and the life of his love. Now, they kind of did that in the 90s movie with that. They did it differently. Their car didn't break down. They were attacked in their apartment. They did it a little bit differently. There's only 4 members in the gang. In the comic book, there's 5 members, including a woman. I don't remember. I do have the comic book. I love that comic book. There were some elements they didn't play up on that I wish they had. I should get those out and reread it before this comes out. I always say that, but I never do because I've got too much to do and I'm a little bit lazy, but whatever. Anyways. So Zach Balin, who is coming off of an Oscar nomination for penning King Richard, he wrote the script for this. So it'll be interesting to see that. King Richard was pretty good. It took some liberties, I guess, with the real story. But you know what? Hey, whatever. That doesn't everything. And I just have to say, like, fans of The Crow, however, have plenty of reasons to be skeptical with this iteration that it won't be that it will be derailed at the last minute, given the franchise's infamous history. That first movie, I love that first movie, even though it didn't do it exactly as the comic books did it. I still love it. I thought it was very good. And, there was the death of Brandon Lee, which is sad. Obviously and everything, but and then if you look at the sequels, now I'll be honest with you, the second movie, the sequel, City of Angels, I actually like that one. I know people are like, I know a lot of people don't like that one, but I actually like it. I like the sequel and everything. But then you have the third one and the fourth one, and then you have that TV show. I don't think that they were very good. You get bad acting, and then you don't get they just don't do the story, and it's always like a new person, and it's just really weird. I just go, why don't you just make the same story, just recast Eric Draven? I think that it's just very, you know how it is with these Hollywood types. They find something, they want to stick to it because it worked and everything, but they don't really know how to do it because they don't talk to fans and everything. And I think that's the biggest problem. Hollywood and fans, they don't meet eye to eye because the fans want what they like and Hollywood wants to give them something. They want to give them what they recognize, but it's different and everything because they know better than you, kind of thing. Pardon me. But yeah, I think this is the thing. I like Bill Skarsgård. I think he's a fantastic actor. So I'm definitely going to be paying attention to this because I do love The Crow, the comic book. It's very good. If you get a chance to go read it, I suggest picking it up. Try to get it at a comic book shop. It might be hard to get it from a comic book shop, but if you can't, try to get it from online and everything. Yeah, I think the comic book is great. I think Bill Skarsgård is great. Rupert Sanders is okay, but we'll see. He could knock this out of the park. There were definitely elements of Ghost in the Shell that I absolutely loved. Visually, it was pleasing, and I liked it a lot. However, and Snow White and the Huntsman, I didn't mind that either. There was definitely it was definitely a fresh take on that story. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with this. And, excited is not the word I would use to describe my feelings on this, but definitely intrigued and interested is definitely words that I would use. So that is my second story of the day. So for my third and final story of this week, Victoria Pedretti has signed on for a lead role in the upcoming drama series Saint X. Now this will be for this will stream on Hulu, and this will be 8 episodes. Now, if you don't know who Victoria Pedretti is, first off, you're crazy. Second off, she was in the show, the miniseries, both miniseries of The Haunting of Hill House and The Haunting of Bly Manor. Now, even though I didn't really care for Bly Manor, I mean, it had its ups and downs, but Victoria Pedretti is amazing. She's my favorite part of both those series. She's so good. She also is in You on Netflix, a lot of Netflix. And then she also did have a small role in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was directed by Quentin Tarantino. Not a very big role in that movie, but, you know, like I said before, I love Victoria Pedretti. She's great. I think she's a movie star, up and coming movie star. Like, you know, they just need to give her I want her to be Jean Grey in the MCU. That's how great I think she is. And Jean Grey is my favorite X-Men, my favorite mutant. But I think that she'd be a great Jean Grey, and I really hope that they cast her as it, because she would do such a great job. She's so good. She's so fantastic. Anyways, so Pedretti will star as Emily, a sharp, ambitious woman whose carefully constructed, seemingly perfect life begins to crumble. Now, I'll go through the plot with you, but so the series is based on the Alexis Skarsgard, novel with the same name, so Saint X. And it is described as a psychological drama, which is told via multiple timelines and perspective. It's a show about how a young woman's mysterious death during a idyllic Caribbean vacation creates a traumatic ripple effect that eventually pulls her surviving sister into a dangerous pursuit of the truth. So that kind of sounds good. I don't know how I feel. It sounds like it's just going to be one of those like time loop kind of things, which I'm all like, I mean, we've seen this time and time again. No pun intended there. But at the same time, I just go, I love Victoria Pedretti so much that I'll probably watch this, you know? Now, Layla Gerstein will write and executive produce this, and she's written on The Handmaid's Tale and Looking for Alaska. Now, I've never seen Looking for Alaska, but I have to tell you right now, The Handmaid's Tale, what a crappy show. Man, I do not like that show. I tried to watch it. I watched season 1. I watched half of season 2, and then I bailed. I was like, this show sucks. I have no desire to watch any more of this. So we'll see if she can do anything, if she can do better with this show. I've never read this books by Alexis Skantikakian, but I again, Victoria Pedretti, she's just so great that I'll watch pretty much anything she's in. I love her. She's so hot too. She's so cute, adorable. I just love her so much. She's great. I watched that You show. She's my favorite part of that show. It's just I just love it. I just love it. But yeah, so that is my third and final story of this week. So tell me, what do you guys think about all of this? How do you feel about this It Prequel series in development over at HBO Max? Do you think this is a good idea, a bad idea? You know, do you think that this is something that we're looking for? Do you think that Hollywood is, out of ideas and they're just like, let's go back to the drawing board with all these other stuff that worked and everything? Or do you think this sounds great and this will work out and everything's going to be great with it? Yeah. How do you feel about The Crow getting a reboot and Bill Skarsgard playing Eric Draven in that? Is this something you're excited for? Do you like the comic book? Did you read the comic book? Is this something that would get you into the comic book? How do you feel about Rupert Sanders directing, all that good stuff? Do you hope they keep to the original story or change it up a little bit like they did in the movies? Yeah. And then how do you feel about Victoria Pedretti starring in this new Hulu drama series, Saint X? Is this something that sounds interesting to you, or does it sound like just a big mess that you're not interested in? It's always interesting to see, how they go from book to screen with these kind of things. And I've never read the book, but I am interested in anything that, like I said, that Victoria Pedretti does. And how do you like my idea of her being Jean Grey in the MCU? I like it. I think it's a fantastic idea. All right, you guys, tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week on my weekend review. You guys have a good week. Bye.
Hey nerds, if you like this video, go ahead and click that Geek What icon and subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and join me every Sunday with my Week in Review.